Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. I'm here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined by Priya and Phillipp with their movie In Retrograde. Let's take a look at the clip. I'm honored we can do this in person, celebrating you and your film. Thank you so much for bringing your great artistic vision, your fantastic film to New Filmmakers LA. It's a pleasure to have you here in person. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us the brief synopsis.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, In Retrograde is a surrealist musical dramedy about a black musician trying to kind of have their last stand and dealing with the expectations that the industry has on him, you know, that are sometimes in conflict with what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of really great original music made by Phillipp, which is really, really lovely. So yeah, all of the musical accompaniment as well.
And not to underestimate Phillipp, you are an amazing musician. I want, like, I swear, like, honestly, like, I want everything that you've made because it was such a pleasure to see your great talents on the screen. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of, we've understood a little bit what you've just said already, but like, tell us a little about where the inspiration was to create this story and then turn this actual story into a film.
Yeah, well, we met many, many years ago. We're just kids kind of running around town, you know, running around Los Angeles in the kind of the early 2010s, and just straight out, I think you're straight out of college, and I was wrapping up graduate school, and the film was really based on those experiences of being in Los Angeles and trying to make something and do something. But I think what I kind of felt was like there's a lot of, you know, when it comes to depictions of Los Angeles in film, right, there's kind of like the South LA, kind of like South Central, like Boys in the Hood narratives,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are, you know, kind of like entourage narratives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what felt really true for us was like somewhere in the middle, and so we really just kind of tried to mine those experiences.
Yeah, that like very millennial, just out of college, kind of broke. I mean, I guess Carrie's aged up a little bit, but yeah, just kind of those trying to get your footing in a city, and you know, maybe the city's not really set up for you to be particularly successful in it. Yeah.
I was amazed at all the incredible locations. I mean, the way it looked on camera was exquisite. Like it was like edible for cinematography. It was gorgeous. And then of course they flowed with the whole music. Going into making this project together, did you kind of have a very clear idea of how you wanted it to look, how you kind of wanted it to feel? Because I mean, respectfully, when you're bringing your own music in, it has to kind of flow with obviously the film. So tell us about that kind of journey for both of you.
Sure, I can talk about that a little bit. So like my background is more in production design, specifically set
That's why it
decorating.
looks so good, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I do for my day job. And so, yeah, I didn't want to have to really, I don't know, I can't tell if it was cost or money or anything like that, or if it was more just like me being a little bit more particular, but I was just like, I just want to pick locations that I think look really beautiful, and so we didn't even really have someone else come in. We just kind of worked on, we just kind of tried to pick something that would fit with that kind of aesthetic. I really love the idea of like a 60s, 70s Laurel Canyon vibe. So we did that for the studio, which is actually over in Chinatown. And it was just a friend of a friend's. And I think it kind of helped prepare, having that background, set decorating background, helped me prepare to like have an understanding of how to fill a screen and be able to have something that's set up that like whatever angle, whatever like framing we did, there was going to be a lot of visual interest in it as well.
It was exquisite, like it really was. Like I can't tell you, I was desperate to go and watch it on the big screen because it deserves a big screen because there's so much detail in there. From the opening scene, you know, I mean everything is just beautiful, and then right the way to when you're carrying, you're got that close up all the way. I was like getting chills. It was just really, really fantastic to watch.
Thank you.
Going through on this journey, mixing with your music and your talents and stuff like that, like how is that experience kind of almost having like a personal element being part of this, bringing in your music and your voice, some of the challenges maybe that you've had when you're incorporating this into a film? How was that kind of process for you?
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of the really important thing about us as filmmakers is that we're a team, because I think it's really, really hard to gain some distance from your narrative or something kind of inspired by your narrative and see the lead character, someone who doesn't always kind of have to be the hero. I just think sometimes when you're trying to tell your own story, you can just be too close to it. So I think one of the really good things is just being able to work with Priya, get distance from it, and then be really kind of, I don't want to say brutal, but like, I would say like in a narrative like this, and what's dangerous is you never want it to come off like a vanity project or like hero worship or you're worshiping yourself, It's like, have you ever seen that kind of like movie trailer with like some actor and it's kind of the thing they've always wanted to do and you can just like see them giving them like themselves all these like big kind of heroic moments and speeches and stuff like that. So Carrie being very misanthropic was very kind of important to us. And, just trying to be honest, I think, with myself around like kind of who I am and, Carrie isn't me, Nixon isn't Priya, but, you can like isolate things in your personality and then kind of like blow them up, but you need another partner to do it. Otherwise, it would be 30 minutes of Carrie just winning and always having like one-liners and stuff like that. And specifically as we were writing it and working on it, and I think some of my anxiety as a black actor, it was really important that everyone else was really funny, and Carrie kind of operated almost kind of like the straight man. With the exception of when I play Bishop Wendell, and then it's we go kind of insane. But and for me, like as a performer, that was really important because, I think sometimes as black actors, like you can have these like fun and silly gears, which I definitely wanted to explore with Bishop Wendell, but you don't want it because we just struggle with how we view people of color so much. Like I didn't want myself as a performer to then be like pigeonholed as like, oh, he's the funny, loud, silly, absurd guy. So really, we kind of gave all the funny stuff to everyone else. Which is very intentional.
But I mean, I think firstly, in terms of like you say about giving, kind of these epic speeches and things. I mean, you're a very modest person naturally, so your character came across.
Is that right? Am I very modest with
very
the
humble.
gold ring, chain, and gold earrings, and gold?
But also, you had such a presence on camera. I was really just interested in the character and the story that was led, and just the subtle moments of when you're being lost in your thoughts and you kept the camera there. I mean, it really showed through all the things you were internally feeling. And you did let's give some credit to the rest of your cast as well. You got a great ensemble cast with some great one-liners. I mean, I was genuinely hurt when you got hit on the head, I'll be honest with you. Like that was painful
that
to
was
even
Priya.
watch.
She threw the bottle at
She
me.
did? Okay, I guess you're the only one that can do that, I guess, being a couple, but still.
And so working in set decorating and everything like that, I was trying to tell everyone, because everyone was so scared that I was going to throw it. I was like, guys, it literally is like the weight of an empty Dasani bottle. Like
goodness.
It's all plastic. Like it was just like, it was I called like a props person and it was like, I need to have something that's not going to hurt someone or whatever. But everyone around was gasping as I'm like throwing the bottle.
I was also very nervous. I don't want to act like I was cool.
Yeah, of course.
Because it
right?
like kind of like hits me in the eye.
I just hope you had no argument before or anything. Like,
no,
what I mean?
no.
Otherwise it might have,
Well, at that point, because we shot over 2 days. So, and
2 days? I can't believe
yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah,
insanity.
it's
And we're towards the end of the shoot. So, and I had like probably taken like 6 Advils because I was having like some like neck pain that day. So I was just like, let's just do it. Like, just hit me.
Yeah.
Oh, God. No, honestly, because your performance in that particular scene was so good. I was so genuinely hurt this moment happened, but it was sheer brilliance in the script that you put that in there together. But no, tell us about bringing your cast together and how because there was a lot of like lovely moments you had from the rest of your cast as well.
Yeah, for our cast, just how we found everybody.
Or just in how you, and even kind of them getting in the nature, because even though there was like little moments of, you know, one-liners and stuff, they made such an impact in the story, you know, to accompany your story.
Yeah, absolutely. So Candace, who plays Denise, so the record executive.
Yes.
She was one of the stars of our first short film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so we were like, I mean, no one else can crush this besides her. So we just called her up, and she was.
She's kind of like a good luck charm at this point.
She's lovely. Would love to work with her, do anything again. But yeah, I mean, some of it's friends of friends. I think we're really. I was talking about this a little bit yesterday. Of just feeling very. Grateful that everyone was so willing to do like a couple rounds of Zoom rehearsals. So once we got there, no one was really finding the character. Everyone knew what movie they were in. Everyone had that character. Everyone knew their lines. And then everybody just like as a group, even if they weren't together on the same day, kind of got to know each other a little bit. And I think that really helped.
Wow.
Especially just like thinking about, you know, a little bit more intimate moments that Sophie had with Phillipp, so Nixon, the woman who plays Nixon, and kind of those tender moments of being like, this isn't like a strange, like, you know, meeting for the first time. And
which is crazy to think, because we met in person. Actually, the second time we met in person, but we hadn't seen each other for like a year. And the first time we met was at like a screening party, so we didn't really like know each other. So like, hey, you're good in that movie. And then we kind of had to immediately be like husband and wife and like land into a groove.
Oh, isn't that great when it does that? But it's so fun. I think you're the first interview we've had in New Filmmakers history. You've mentioned Zoom rehearsals. Who knew that existed, right? But hey, I love that that's how you made it work, even during these particular times. You know, you made that work together. Now, obviously, you spoke a little bit about self-reflection and kind of the feel of the film and what you kind of, you know, what was inspired and everything else. I'm just so curious, what did you want your audience to take from your film?
You know, it's so funny because we've been working on it and kind of revisiting the world and trying to see, you know, what life it could have, whether that be, you know, as a feature or in television. And it's funny because I definitely feel like I'm in a different place when it comes to how I feel about these characters and kind of what I want for them. But, you know, as an aspiring musician, and running around town in LA, kind of back to what we were talking about around like how it's depicted, you know, I know a lot of musicians, and yes, I'm a musician. I literally have a bachelor's degree in classical guitar performance, but I know a lot of people who have run at it, dedicated their life to it, put out records, put out really, really good songs, put out tunes that had the city and the blogs abuzz, I guess you could say, you know, and again, you know, I say blogs like 2010, like, you know, just think about that time when like a blog mattered. And unfortunately, kind of the sad truth is like having a good song isn't enough. Having a good song isn't it. And I definitely, at least for me, wanted to showcase what kind of happens to everyone else who doesn't like kind of make it. You know, because so many times like the LA narratives and the industry narratives and things like that are kind of that ride of, and then they made it. And I just know so many people who are amazing, incredibly talented, better than I am, who haven't. And, you know, everyone kind of has to ask themselves, you know, well, what is making it? That's an abstract thing, you know? But is it like not, so being able to make music, play a show, feel seen as an artist, I think is making it. But if we're talking about like the record deal and the big house, I know a bunch of people that never happened for. And so, and that's not what happened for me. So I think it was, I just really have always kind of felt like that needs to be kind of committed to film, because there's something kind of truthful about that. I don't know about for you, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely really resonates. I would say even stepping outside of this, just because we are speaking to so many filmmakers right now, I would say like stepping outside of just even the story, but just a little bit more of like how we came together and like worked on Carrie to like just be inspiring of like no one, we applied for so many grants, we didn't get a grant, we did a little bit of crowdfunding, but mostly financed it ourselves. And I just would encourage people to just, if they, you know, really enjoyed it and were inspired, that they would be able to take that and be like, it doesn't necessarily have to be, you could do something on an iPhone, you could do, you know, you could do something a little bit more stripped down, but if you find a film community and you work really hard, I think there's a lot that you can do, and don't wait for someone else to give you permission like that.
Yeah, like you gotta, I love that, Priya, and like, we talk about it a lot, like you have to name yourself, which for us is kind of like code and language for be the person that you want to be and don't like wait to like ask permission. And as we were thinking about taking the plunge and you know, making the investment to make this movie against everyone's advisement, really. The thing, I remember us having a conversation, because this was the first time Priya had directed, and this was my first time acting, leading a film.
I don't believe you, both of you. I think you're lying to us, honestly.
I mean, it's absolutely true. And I remember, I guess this is the like speech that if we were to be more self-grandizing, we would like put in the film. But I was like, you want to be a director, like, so direct. Don't wait for the machine or the people or the tastemakers to say you can do it. And like, I wanted to act specifically in this story, like, and I'm not gonna wait for the people who say that you can. Like, it's a lot of hurry up and wait, get in line, and obviously you need to work hard, you need to be dedicated, you need to learn the craft, you know, it's not about just like trying to pop off, like it's about being an artist and having something to say, so you need to find that thing that you feel really burdened to say. So I do believe in the idea of like work and discipline, but I think now in the year of our Lord, like in these in these times, like you can kind of do anything you want to do and be anyone that you want to be, and you don't really have to wait for people to get on.
Absolutely.
You know, the institutions are always going to be late. They're always going to be behind, and they're always going to be chasing what's happening in the proverbial artistic streets. You know?
And it is about as subjective as it gets. Like
Yeah.
there are so many people who are just like, if they're not interested in comedy at all, of course they're going to be like, no, why aren't you telling this super bummer story or you know, or whatever this is, or like they only have a more, you know, kind of super indie aesthetic or whatever. And so so being able to be like, don't let those people be the arbiter of you know what you can and can't do, because those people, if you do something really well, those people are going to turn around and be like, oh, actually that was an incredible idea, I'm sorry that I didn't.
No, I mean, so many things that are awesome that have, you know, just like, I don't want to say like crushed it, but so many things that have been impactful from an artistic standpoint didn't make sense on paper. You know, so, and that's kind of what we're trying to talk about last night. It's just like believe in the power of your story, because a lot of times people don't know until they see it, and then all of a sudden like, wow, like, and it seems so self-evident. But it wasn't in the pitches. I mean, there's countless stories like that in this business.
I mean, I'm just so glad you're together, honestly, respectfully, because I think you just understand each other. You know, you raise each other up, and that's what every great team should be. You know, and I think, you know, honestly, it's really, really wonderful. I could be. Can we just have like an hour special or something? Because I'm enjoying this. Okay, I really am. Just to finalize on what is next for you both.
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. Well, we never stop writing, so we have a lot of different things in the chamber. I think what seems really important to us is getting our first feature done.
Yes.
So, we're, you know, whether that be this story, we have a feature version, we have some other genre things that we want to do, but we're really running and gunning towards delivering our first feature.
That's amazing. And, you know, your vision, you know, your artistic vision, your creative vision, your musical vision is incredible. I can't wait to see your first feature together. So congratulations. Welcome to the Filmmakers family.
We're happy to be here.
Thank you, Priya and Phillipp, everybody. Thank you very much.